Hello party people and welcome to the Void. Today you are going to see my first match that I played with Elandorr or Elandorr or however you want to call it. Like, I am not a expert on the whole level of this elfish gobbledygook thing. I've never read any of the trivia about the heroes. Like, usually I'm really interested in stuff like that. Like, for example, with Warhammer and things, I basically soaked up every single information that I was able to get on the internet. But unfortunately, with the Arena of Valor, that's not the case. Well, anyhow, that should not be your concern, because we are now taking a look at the elf. And I have to admit that I did not really read through the stuff when I was playing it. But I read the abilities straight afterwards, or like before I captured this very video. So you guys are gonna get some information on how to use it. But unfortunately, as this is like my first real game with him against like humans, you won't see any of that crazy stuff that some other people are able to pull off. It just should give you an impression how strong he could be with someone who's more an amateur than a pro player. And I would say, by saying something like that, you know the deal. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. I need those 1,000 people. And if you like the video, just leave a like. And if you have anything to add, just use the comment section below. And that was the intro. I would say let's take a look at the build that I've been playing. Welcome to the armory. Here is the Elandorr build that I have chosen. I've taken it from the suggested ones, so this is not something that I came up with, but it's close to the one that I would be playing. So you've got the extra speed with the attack boots, you've got the Fafnirs, which is sometimes situational. Like on some heroes it does make more sense than on others, so I just wanted to try it. Cleave Sancti, the Slicks, is that Slicks? Yeah, the Slick Sting and the Bow of Slaughter are somehow a staple for most of the AD carries. And in the last slot, you can do whatever you want to do. Usually it's Blade of the Eternal, or you take the Fenrirs, but that's totally up to you. You could even take the Muramasa if you think that you can't really shred through armor a lot. Now, this is a premiere. I finally made it happen. I've taken the crit runes. The crit runes that I'm talking about all the time. So with my crit, I've got the Rampage, critical chance and critical damage going up. You could also do the one where just the chances are higher. Don't bother with that. You get the Guerrilla, you get attack speed as well as the movement speed. It just means that you're gonna proc stuff more often, and the attack speed is gonna help you a lot. Just because you're doing more damage with that, and it is like, it makes higher crit chances, so there we go. And we've got the Skewer, which is like I think the most used rune in Arena of Valor of all time, because everyone can use it. And enchantment wise, you won't be really that surprised. Here is a Death Sickle underneath. So we've got the Axe of Sacrifice, we have the Holy Verdict, and we have the Sacred Protection, which is somehow pretty much standard AD carry build at the moment. We've got the Reaper's Blessing, so that you get a charge of Death Sickle after 3 minutes. It's gonna save some assets, but it can't save all of them. And we have the Gunslinger that stacks up to 6 times. You're starting with 1 stack. So this is the Elandorr, and I would say let's take a look at the first game that I've ever played. So, I always say so. So here we are with the bunch that you might already know from my videos. It's quite a nice tests surrounding where I can actually use new stuff, because I play with the same people over and over again. In terms of the abilities of Elandorr, it is not a secret that many heroes work around the way that they use and capitalize their passive, and it isn't of any surprise that Elandorr is just one of those guys who just stacks up in that roster. He is a hero that's super mobile, that uses a lot of skill to maximize his damage, And in combination of these two, you get a quite versatile hero who is able to do shitloads of damage. That's I don't really know where to rank him. Like, I haven't thought about that, but I would say he can go with the Caphanies and Hyates just because he is so crazy. Anyways, let's talk about his abilities so that you guys who haven't read anything about Elandorr, so you are able to understand better what you're gonna see at the screen or what you might not see at the screen, because I've just did some research and yeah, as I said, the passive is the bread and butter. Like, if you don't understand how your passive works, you don't understand how Elandorr works, and that makes this hero much less effective as he is. And he is quite effective because of the high mobility. He's doing a lot of damage. So let's talk about the passive first, because as I said, it's like the thing that you have to work around to make him work. Look at this beautiful double kill. It was just luck, no skill. I just want to mention that. So your passive is a combination that consists of two different things. The first thing that you are going to see right now, every single time that you damage an enemy, he will get a stack. That stack is indicated by a small butterfly who consists of two wings, and those wings are the markers. It's pretty clear. It's a visual that's actually quite nice, and it is also quite helpful to determine how many stacks you have already inflicted. That said, every single time that thing hits the third stack, an effect is triggered that's gonna cause an explosion, and that explosion is not only dealing damage, but it's also dealing damage to nearby enemies. That's the most important thing about Elandorr. That was so crazy. I wouldn't even know what I was doing there. So this is like the first thing of Elandorr. The second thing about Elandorr, and it's a little bit strange to understand what's going on. So you have this lamp that he carries with you all the time, like one of those genie magic lamps. Every single time you use something, you will generate some kind of lamp on the position of origin where you started doing things. I will tell you as soon as I do something so that you know what I'm talking about. So this kind of thing is where the power of Elandorr comes from. It's this lamp that he carries in his left hand at the moment. So there we go, not using the lamp. Wow, that's really clever. Here we go. Now you can see this lampy thing. There we go. The lamp is that stupid butterfly. I think it's a little bit misleading in the description, so that it's actually not really helping newer players to understand what's going on, because it says a lamp, but that lamp is a friggin' butterfly. You can traverse back to the lamp, and you can use the lamp to kind of get stuff from it, and that is where your passive is basically interacting with your other abilities, which means as soon as you hit your one, you see that a butterfly is being created at the point of origin where you started. As soon as you hit your first ability again, you will be able to get back to that butterfly. That was unfortunate. I could have used my 2 and killed him. And that's the same with every single spell that you have. So for example, if you use your 2, you will fire 2 shots immediately at an enemy that is targeted by your targeting system, which means closest, health, percentage, whatever you've chosen. Afterwards, it's like you can use it again to kind of get it back. And the same goes for your 3, your ultimate, where you are you can see it. I think it's quite beautiful that you can actually see what the spells do better than with most of the heroes, because you are kind of like using your lamp to push someone away from you, and you can use that as a tactical implication to rather position enemies in a different way. Or you can also use it to kind of push them into your tower, whatever you want to do. So it's kind of up to you what you want to do with it. So I guess the beauty and the magic that comes from Elandorr is managing the stacks. Like every single time that the stacks hit, you're dealing just a tremendous amount of damage to an enemy, which are without doing anything special. You just try to hit things. And as you have seen, it also works for multiple enemies. So what you're actually doing is that you are firing through them. Oh, it didn't work this time. Like last time it worked when we were at the bottom. Don't know what's going on, but you are able to hit multiple enemies with auto attacks. And that means that they are going to get stacks as well, which is kind of a nice ability. And then you need to pay attention where you put your butterfly lamp, because that is just gonna mean that your mobility is increased, your paths are increased. For example, I could now go back to the lampy thing, but there is no sense in doing so because I actually want to kill things. Oh my god, now everyone gets in. I need to go out. Pretty nice. I used my lamp here. And it was so close. It was so fucking close. Like, I would have been able to kill at least one of these guys if I would have had at least one more item more. But it doesn't really matter. It was just like something that you have to practice a lot, and you just see how crazy Astrid is. Like that Astrid, I just hope that they're not gonna nerf her back to nowhere, because she's so fucking beautiful at the moment. I just love the way that Astrid plays and interacts with the field. Those jumps are crazy. I love those gap closers. So, from my perspective, I guess Elandorr can be a pretty cool hero if you have figured out how to play him correctly. Same goes for every other hero as well. I know, Void, I know you are super smart as soon as you know how to play something. No, I really mean it. Like, I think Elandorr is one of the funnier heroes that they have released in the meantime. So, I'm not too fond of Errol. Oh my goodness, they just raped me here. I'm not too fond of, what's that name, Yina. Like, Yina is too complex for me. Might go for Elandorr as well, but don't like Yina that much. I would love to be able to play her and use all those combos. Every single time I see people doing that, I'm like really jealous and envy. I want to be as good as they are. What else was released? Like Krizzix is fun, but Krizzix is broken as well. Like every player is just complaining about Krizzix all the time. I've not really had that impression with Elandorr. Alan? Let's call him Alan. What the fuck? Like, why would you ever try to pronounce that name in the correct way? Because we're not able to. We don't have elfish tongues. Doesn't work. So let's do it the other way. I could just pronounce it like German. Elandorr! This is what you are supposed to be. Yeah. Sometimes I wonder what Hollywood would have done without Hitler and the Nazis and stuff. That would just have been crazy. So here we go. Killed again by Vera. But I shut down someone. So my current goal with the first game is always to have as many kills as deaths. That's just the thing I focus on mostly. You can see now that I have the 6 stacks, which is actually quite nice. I mean, 18-18, we're doing quite well. Everything's set, and the game shouldn't take that long. I think the build is solid. I think the Arcana are solid as well. And I would say that the enchantments kind of work with what Elandorr has to offer. So I don't see any problem with that. It's just my lack of skill with that hero, or my lack of skill in particular with that game. The game that you guys are all watching and loving, so I can't really help it. Like, sometimes I just have the feeling that my fingers are just not doing what I want them to do. And the funny thing is, I have that with sports as well. Like, sometimes it just seems that my hand-eye coordination is not the best. But it doesn't matter. Like, as I always say, this is about fun. Like, you're supposed to have fun, and I will bring you some video where I explain the abilities a little bit better. I just realized that I went through them quite roughly, and that's not the approach. What I really like about Elandorr is What I really like about Alan is the fact that if you use the lamp to create a butterfly and you use the lamp again, like the butterfly again, to create a lamp, you can actually see that there's a small butterfly running into Elandorr's hand. Oh my god, that was so nice. I'm just such a sneaky ass. And that was, here comes the reward for all my effort. And now I have to move out because otherwise I'm killed by Grug. That crit build really makes sense. Oh, something I forgot. And I know that some players will tell me and they will tell you because they're smart asses and backseat drivers. Every single time your lamp is not with you, your speed is increased, but your damage output is minimized. I don't know what the plan was in this scenario. Like, I was trying to push her away and then just get out, but it just resulted in what you pretty much call a team wipe. Good thing is that Astrid is still there. So are you guys watching my videos? Oh, there's a new skin coming out, Mina Death Dance. It's looking fabulous. It's looking really good. Like, that's a really nice skin. I just love the fact that you can get the skins and they actually will help you to contribute to your gold getting stuff. Like, you get more gold if you use a skin, but if you haven't got a skin, it just doesn't matter. It's just mandatory. I think that's always a good thing to do. And what I still don't really get is that the whole Arcana thing is still based on gold rewards. Oh my goodness, that was such a nice team fight. Sometimes I wonder, we are all, like, we guys, the guys that you see here playing with me, most of them are with me in a voice chat. And our coordination is sometimes so far away from being strategic because we talk about all these things but not Arena of Valor, and I think that is the main issue. Astrid is already full build, that's like crazy ass. First Elandorr game, won. I mean, the good thing is, like, you can't really complain about the whole team composition because we are ranked with almost equal teams as well. They will have at least the same, or like around the same amount of people pre-made, so this is not really something that should get you into rage mode. So here we go, Astrid again. It doesn't really matter who plays Astrid, Astrid is just crazily good. 6-2, there's the build, there's the stats, and yeah, thanks for watching guys, I wish you a nice week. What if Dust Gaming over and out.